The South African Human Rights Commission has launched a probe following an alleged racist incident at Stellenbosch University. Now, the Commission says it has received 2 complaints and has called on potential witnesses to come forward. A white student was caught on camera urinating on a black student's belongings in a residence at the university. The university has condemned the incident and suspended the student.
The Commission has decided to investigate the matter, as on the face of it, or prima facie, it appears that the violation of various of the affected students' rights have taken place. We have, as you pointed out, yesterday received 2 complaints at our Western Cape Provincial Office. If these allegations are indeed true, this was indeed an atrocious and despicable incident. The facts need to be determined by the Commission first, though, and we would call on everyone also to wait for the Commission to conclude its investigation so that we can establish what exactly the facts are. We are attempting to get hold of the affected student and would like to call on the student as well as other potential witnesses to come forward and contact the Commission.
For more on this, we are now joined by South African Union of Students Secretary General Lukhanyo Daweti. Lukhanyo, welcome. Thank you so much for your time. Now, as the South African Union of Students, you're committed to building a unified, equitable, non-sexist, non-racial, democratic and well-governed education system. Why, in your opinion, do you believe that in 2022 an incident of such a nature still occurs? Where are we failing as a society?
Good afternoon to you, ma'am, and good afternoon to the listeners at home. You are asking a very, very important question because the late President, Mandela, once argued that no one is born racist. So now, when such a barbaric act happens, particularly in the institution of higher learning, to us, as the union, we learned this with dismay and shock because we believe that universities are in their nature a microcosm of the society. So whatever that happens in university is a true reflection of what is happening in society. So it therefore means our efforts in driving the journey and the very, very transformative society, we have not really yielded into the results. And I must say that to us as South, it's very, very disturbing from how the media is reporting on this matter because they keep on saying white student, as if this student is non-identifiable or is not known because this boy is known from this Detroit and his name is Tyson. So we're disappointed by that because if it was any other race, the reporting would have been all over the place, dropping the name of the student. So we're calling on the media on this matter to report on this matter very consistent so that this boy can be exposed that while we believe that we're in a democratic society, but there are still leftovers of apartheid that still exist amongst our society.
Now, some say that students do silly things that may or may not be racially motivated. Where do we draw the line?
I don't want to believe that students can do silly things to a point that they have to demean and undermine each other's dignity and humanity. The one that has been done in Stellenbosch University, it can be equated to any of the silly things that any student in any university can do. Those with a clear acts of racism, undermining the black student, delegitimizing his right of, perhaps I would say that how he has done this thing, he was even questioning his presence of that black student to that university.
So had it been a black student urinating on another black student's belongings, what would we then term it as?
Unfortunately, we've never had that instance, luckily. And we believe as South African students, we would never have such because by nature as black students, we are grown up with manners from our home. We are taught what is manners. We were never taught to hate any other students. We were taught to respect each other. So I believe that from where we are coming from our own upbringing, it will never, ever, in any instance where a black student urinates in the room of black students, or even of a white student, to argue on that matter.
All right, Lukhanyo, now, calls are growing for that student to be expelled. I take it that you share the same sentiments.
Of course, we're sharing the very same sentiments, because we believe that his actions have shown that he can coexist with other students at the university. Remember, university, it's supposed to be a place where students, it's supposed to be a place of cohesion from different cultures, from different backgrounds. But if such a behavior can then erupt in a university, it shows you that that particular individual has shown beyond all measures that he can be then within one environment with the students at the university.
Now, the Hayes Murray, which is the student resident that is said to, where the incident took place, is also said to have a number of incidences of GBV and racism. As the SA Union of Students, how far-reaching are your efforts in ensuring that these cases are looked at and that these cases and these individuals actually are reprimanded?
Thanks for raising that, because ever since this incident has happened, I've been directly in communication with the Student Representative Council from Stellenbosch, and they brought that matter into our attention that indeed there are some of other cases, and they've indicated that even those cases that have happened to these residents are in line with these racist lines, because majority of the students affected in this particular residence are black students. And now what is very disturbing in this instance is that when a black student is being affected and then you don't show any efforts of remorse from other races, it's really, really disturbing. And it shows you that really within our society, there is still a need for us to root all other forms of oppression and racism that still exist. Because it can't be that when a fellow student, regardless of their race or color, is being affected, and then I do not even show any support as a fellow student.
Our universities...
As far as we're calling on that, all students should unite in all universities, and they must at all times ensure that they look after each other.
So do you believe that universities are taking or making the effort in ensuring that such incidences, in terms of even just teaching people with regards to transformation and how we should be on a moral ground, be treating each other as different races, do you think that universities are making efforts in that direction?
I know that historically disadvantaged institutions are doing that, because I'm the product of the historically disadvantaged institution. It's a point of concern for historically advantaged institutions, because all these barbaric behaviors are erupting from their universities. So you can tell that if the racism can come from Stellenbosch, it tells you the culture of that university and how things are done in that university, and how those who think they are privileged can treat the fellow black students. So it's a very interesting point that we're raising, and it's something that I want to understand when I meet the Vice Chancellor tomorrow and the Chancellor of the university, in asking along those lines, what efforts are they putting in place in terms of ensuring that they ensure that there is a social cohesion within the institution, and there is a respect amongst each other, and there are no elements of racism and no elements of reminding our fellow black students about their historical past.